We're having to remove a beloved hackberry from the studio garden, and it's quite a big job, but luckily we've joined forces with the Oklahoma Arborists Association. And joining me now is Charlie English, a member of the association and owner of English Tree Service.
That's right.
Charlie, thanks again for coming out and helping us today. It's been a really hard decision for us to remove this tree, and I think a lot of homeowners go through that. They see a tree in decline, but they don't want to part with it. But I think, of course, sometimes you really need to remove that tree. What are some situations where a tree maybe becomes hazardous, or we need to make that decision to go ahead and remove it?
I think a lot of times homeowners tend to want to put those things off because it is a pretty tree. Sometimes there's an emotional attachment or perhaps monetary values placed on the tree. So there is the situation though where if it becomes too dangerous, and usually that decay process is happening below the ground, just like a fence post. It breaks at the ground and the rest of the post seems to be sound. It's the same thing with the tree. That attachment to the earth becomes decayed and the tree can collapse, which then you can no longer put a climber in the tree. So homeowners need to be aware of those things, and when they see a tree that is starting to decline, it's best to take action sooner than later because it's going to be more expensive and less dangerous to take care of it sooner.
Okay, and sometimes for those who aren't really trained to assess the health of the tree, what can we do to periodically check up on our trees and make sure they're in good condition?
I'd encourage the homeowners to contact a certified arborist, and the way to do that is through the internet. Contact the International Society of Arboriculture, or ISA, and Google that, and they can look up their city or town, zip code, and find a local professional that's qualified to do it. A lot of misrepresentation goes on in the phone books and some of those different types of advertising. And the average homeowner would never know it. But there's a lot of misrepresentation and a lot of people that aren't qualified to do that sort of assessment.
Okay, and how often should you inspect the health of the trees?
A certified arborist really should be on your property. You should have them out at the very least every other year, and preferably every year, if nothing else, to do a walkthrough to assess the condition of your trees. And that'll prove to be a good thing to do too. Should there be an unfortunate event where there's a limb failure or collapse of a tree, that you've had a professional on your property inspecting your trees and you have documentation of that, I think would probably be a good thing to have.
Okay. Now, our tree, the hackberry, was very large, and we knew we couldn't do this job by ourselves, but sometimes it's a smaller tree that needs to be taken out. When is it appropriate to do the job yourself versus needing to get some professional assistance?
You know, as a certified arborist and also a certified tree safety professional, I think it's important that anytime a homeowner gets off the ground, that they are either tied in or lanyarded into the tree. And really, that works best left to professionals.
Okay. Yeah, just for safety's sake, a lot of accidents happen, especially when the chainsaw's involved.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing some information with all of us.
Well, thanks for inviting us to be a part of this. We appreciate everything that OSU does for us and the county extension folks, and so we're just privileged to be able to help. Thank you.
Removing our hackberry is quite a big undertaking. We're very thankful to have members of the Oklahoma Arborists Association helping us out. And joining me now is Bill Long of Southern Tree Preservation and the current president of Oklahoma Arborists Association. Bill, thanks for joining me today.
Good morning, Kim.
We're very glad that you guys could help us with this project. I was wondering if you could tell our viewers a bit about the Oklahoma Arborists Association.
Well, the Oklahoma Arborists Association is a group of about 30 to 40 arborists here in Oklahoma, all over Oklahoma, that our main goal is promoting the professionalism of the profession, caring for mature trees, and anything involving trees. Next job is promoting safety. And we're trying to get the word out in instances like this, safe tree removal. You have a large tree, and especially it has cables, which is a complication with the steel and not cutting it. Plus, you've got to make sure that you don't get hit with a chunk,
Yeah, we need to
etc.
be very safe with that.
It's different than just dealing with the limbs.
We always try to encourage our viewers to hire a certified arborist. We think it's very important. Can you share some of the reasons, some of the advantages of hiring a certified arborist?
Number one is that we know our stuff. We know trees. We know the inside of trees. We know the outside of trees. We go through written tests. We go through tree identification. We cover every aspect of tree care, from baby trees to big trees.
And you also mentioned safety is a top concern.
among climbing people and ground people. I mean, there's gravity kills. If you need to know signal words and safety within a person's yard. We don't want to make the newspapers in that way, only in this way.
Okay. How do Oklahoma residents find a certified arborist to hire for their own projects?
Well, since I am the president of the OAA, they would contact me at my phone number, and I will leave your name, address, phone number, and I will send you a list of Oklahoma Arborists Association tree service members. We have other members that aren't tree services, so I will send you that list. And they are primarily Oklahoma City area, Enid, Tulsa. Okay,
but you guys also do a bit of traveling. So.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
There's several companies that cover the whole state.
Okay.
And we'd be glad to come see you for proper tree care.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I'm so thankful to have the Oklahoma Arborists Association out helping us today.
We're glad to be here.
When working on a big tree like our hackberry, you want to take some extra precautions to protect plants and structures that are around the tree. Of course, the arborists are going to do everything they can to protect plant material, but we took a few extra precautions. We built wooden frames over our oak leaf hydrangea and our Japanese maple just to make sure that we don't damage them in the process. As we come out of the winter, now is a good time to assess any damage you might have experienced from winter storms. It's a good time to consult with a professional arborist to determine if any pruning needs to be done in the landscape. You can learn more about managing storm damaged trees from OSU Fact Sheet 7323.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.